theory that is starting, but I'm not sure. Please let me know if you can hear me. Alrighty, just making sure that I mute my personal window so that then we don't get like a weird feedback thing going. But hello team, welcome to our pre-Christmas work with me, plan with me live stream live thing. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. I hope you're having a great day. I hope it's not too early for you because I know some of you guys were saying you were going to get up pretty early to make sure you could join us live. That's a choice. It was already bad enough when my alarm went off at like 7:15, and I know for a lot of you that's like, wow, Jess, you're waking up like really late. I'm like, oh gosh, absolutely awful. Let me know that you are here in the live chat, or if you're here on the replay, let me know down in the comments. But today, as kind of suggested by the title, we're just doing a general work with me, so pottering around in our journals, some time to just get some stuff done. Of course, yes, this will be available to watch later, so if you don't make all of it right here and now, you can just like come back. It's a similar idea if you're already here on the replay. You don't have to watch all of it at once. You can just pause and come back. All good. For the people who are here live, though, we do have a little poll regarding vlogmas. So how have you been finding vlogmas? Is it heck yeah, gimme more? Not that Jess can type gimme at this hour of the morning. 8 a.m. Oh dear. Are you, like me, so behind? Or are you kind of just finding it like, yeah, nah. Which is fine. You know, vlogmas is not for everyone. I'm enjoying the challenge, personally. I think it's been a lot of fun, like, kind of trying to get I don't know, I always like a proper video out every day. Not to say that other people's videos for vlogmas aren't proper. It's just that I want to make sure that they're, you know, good, valuable content for you. It's not just, oh look, a box of crap. Anyways, like, hopefully not. So hopefully you have been finding it useful in, you know, getting ready for 2023, or, you know, just having somebody to journal alongside you, kind of a thing. So that's what we're doing today, though. I can see that everybody's chatting in the chat. That makes me super happy. If you do have a question as we go through, feel free to chuck it in there. I'm totally going to be answering questions as we go through. Well, at least that's the aim. So I will endeavor to actually pay attention to the chat. Let me know, though, what are you snacking on, drinking, doing at the moment? I, of course, have my obligatory Coke Zero for first thing in the morning. And, you know, I'm fine with it. I'm an adult. I can make my own choices. It's gonna be good, except for the fact that I just brushed my teeth, so delicious, minty. So the first thing I'm actually going to be doing today is just working in my everyday journal, you know, the one where I put down tasks, notes, all of that kind of stuff, because I haven't really been looking at it since about Saturday. Saturday was like such a sloth day for me. I did not feel like doing anything at all. So I ended up writing out 2 tasks. So review vlogmas plan and brain dump, which technically I did do that. The brain dump, though, I just did it on Microsoft Word because I can type faster than I can write, and I'm just like, I just need to get everything out of my head. So it's just like kind of thing. And sadly, I have quite a few of those lists on my computer now. They're all just kind of sitting there waiting for me to come back to them and actually do something about it, but it's fine. Ah, chai latte. I love chai lattes. I love iced tea. Oh, delicious. Coat with coffee on a stand. Yep, they're on standby. Very good. Unfrosted Pop-Tarts. Nice. Pop-Tarts aren't like so big here. We don't really get Pop-Tarts. Well, I mean, like, I think you can get them. We used to have what was called like a US to U store, so it was effectively stocked with things that in theory you could buy in the United States. But yeah, I think that they had Pop-Tarts. I'm not sure. I've only been once. Chai. So good. Strawberry daiquiri. Excuse me, where can I get a strawberry daiquiri? I feel like people would have something to say if I was sipping on strawberry daiquiri at 8 a.m. on a Monday morning, though, so maybe not. Gosh, you guys are like totally onto it. Toaster strudel? Why did I ask this question if it's just gonna make me hungry? Choices. It's fine. I'm fine. So on Saturday, I'm just going to write a little note that I had a sloth day because I like the idea of completeness. Sloth day. So by sloth day, I just meant like I was really kind of low energy, feeling quite demotivated, didn't really feel like doing a lot of anything at all. So I just kind of, okay, if what I actually ended up doing was opening up Facebook, scrolling for a bit, being like, Jess, what the heck, you need to do work, quitting Facebook, and then 4 minutes later just going back on Facebook again. So it was a bit of it was a time. So that was kind of unfortunate. I did that for quite a while, and then I got to the point where I'm like, you know what, stuff that you actually have to do something. But we'll put down social media scrolling, sad face. Social media. And then after that, I was like, okay, stuff it, we have to do something. So I decided to start my yearly reset, just so that then I can, first of all, get started on it because it's a big process. And second of all, just so that I could do something that I genuinely enjoy, honestly. So I was, doing some decluttering and stuff like that, because decluttering is like my favorite sport, just brings me peace. So I thought I could do some of that. All good. Ooh, good question. Love this. Poink. Alrighty, let's see. I know how to do this. We can never escape social media. Dun dun dun. So in terms of picking out color palettes, I have got a video on this, but it's kind of old, so I can understand if you don't want to watch it. But in terms of picking out a color palette, it really depends on like what you're starting with, I suppose. If you're starting with a general theme idea, so for instance, let's just say we were starting with, I don't know, it's here, so Christmas, okay? A typical color palette for Christmas is going to be like your green, your red, and your gold, that kind of stuff. Or if you're going for more of like a kind of icy Christmas, then you're probably going to chuck silver in there instead of gold. Hopefully you kind of get the gist. But obviously when I was doing this one, I didn't want to use green because the majority of the stickers that I've got have a blue in them, yeah? So it's got like, the darker blue, the kind of paler blue. They're all kind of in the same hue of blue. They're the same kind of type of blue, except possibly for this guy down here, who's a little bit of a warmer blue compared to this one in particular. But I built my color palette off that. So because my decorative item in particular had the blue and the red, and in some cases the tan as well, that's how my color palette developed. But if you're starting with just a general theme where you're going to do everything by hand, a lot of times I will pick color palettes based on things that I see on the internet. I also like color palettes that have a lot of kind of contrasting colors. So things that are, if you think of the color wheel, like if you have like a wheel of the rainbow, they're on like opposite sides to each other, just because I think it helps the colors stand out better. Very focused today. I mean, I'm kind of focused, a little bit focused. I mean, I'm already off track with filling in my journal, but shh. So that's kind of how I like to pick my color palettes. You can find really good color palette generators online too, which could be super helpful. So literally, if you just go to Google and type in color palette generator, a whole bunch of them come up. Some of them will be based on pictures, which is kind of nice because you can kind of see how the colors might work together. They're not necessarily for, journaling per se. They're just like, a general picture or whatever. But then you can kind of use those to get a basis of the color palette you want to use. Some themes, for instance, like fireflies, I suppose we could flick back to that. Let's see. Yeah. So fireflies in particular, like if you're going to have a glowing butt, for the most part, it's going to be yellow for a firefly. Like where you see fireflies done, it's typically done in yellow. So that kind of edges you towards one direction for your color palette. One direction. Anyways, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it either. So for my fireflies here, like if I decided that yellow and blue wasn't the color combination I wanted to go with, I could always tweak that color palette so it's something that's a little bit more kind of in my, happy range or things that I actually enjoy, and just make it look stylized. So that's totally fine. Yeah, so some themes will kind of tend you in one direction for a color palette, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go with it. Like if you want to do a pandas theme and you don't want to just use black and white, you could have a purple panda. It's cool. It's your journal. Go for your life. Oh, Monica, why are you buying new pens? Now I want to buy new pens. I so badly need to do a pen declutter. It's ridiculous. Anywho. Thank you for your question, though. I love questions. And apologies for anybody's question who I miss. I do try to keep up, but I'm not very good at it. Justice for glowing red butts. That sounds more like a monkey kind of thing, I'm not going to lie. Or like, one of those comedic things where the baby gets like smacked on the butt and then the like handprint is there all red and stuff, like in a cartoon kind of thing, not actually smacking babies, question mark. All good. It's drip time because I'm now like, thanks for your code. Yep, all goods. We love savings here. Love good savings because why not? Might as well get like things for the cheapest price you can if you can, unless I suppose like you're like technically trying to buy things from a small like business or something and you just want to give them their full support. That's totally cool too. All right, where was I? I need to flip back. But yes, color palettes are fun. I like them a lot. I've really been enjoying my color palette for Christmas this year because usually I would tend towards the green and the red, but we're going with blue this year because I liked these stickers so much and they just made for a nice easy setup. So you can see at the start of the month I was very good about using my journal. It's probably in part because I'd just gotten off like a full month of not really using my journal because in November I was doing digital, and while it probably could have worked for me, I also got sick and then I got busy, and whenever I'm busy I tend to not use my journal at all, which is just such a smart idea. No, that's something I need to combat next year. But can't remember what I was saying. Must not have been that important. But yes, started using it quite well. Got into it, very motivated. And then we kind of got to Wednesday where I had a lame day. Like it just wasn't very good. We did do the brainstorming of the content specific, so teehee. And I have been writing little notes in here and stuff. Some of them are a little more personal, but some of them are not, so we can like see those ones. But yeah, so Wednesday was kind of like an day, and I still wrote things down on Thursday. I mean, technically, I think I wrote them down when it was Wednesday because I was feeling cruddy on Wednesday, and I'm like, I actually need to do something. Like, I need to get something done with my time, so I'll write out a little plan. And then, yeah, Saturday was just Sloth day. That's where we got to. So social media scrolling, and then started my yearly reset, so that I could actually feel like I was a productive person. Nice. I think I also technically started my goal setting. My yearly reset. How's the weather where I am? That's a good question. Let's see, I'm going to open the curtain. I apologize for any lighting changes. We have a blue sky and some clouds. I mean, it's, technically summer here. According to my mother, maybe not so much. She feels that New Zealand summer, at least in Wellington, is not hot enough. But I personally do not like the heat, so it is plenty hot enough for me. Yeah. I don't need it to be any more hot. I'm not for it. Alright, we've got a question. Are you doing an updated reset video? I know you said you were planning on changing some things up. So I don't have at this stage a plan to make a dedicated like my reset checklist video, but I totally could because I mean stuff for what's the word? January. My January content is not yet planned out. So we do have a link in the description box. I'm pretty sure it's there if I haven't stuffed something up completely, which you can use to give me video suggestions. And it should be on pretty much all of my videos from a certain point forward. So if you ever have any suggestions for content that you want to see from me, that is the best place to put it because it means that you don't get lost in other comments as well. But I like that idea. I think that would be cool for a video. My family isn't here yet. They are coming next week, so I'm very excited to have them over. But my house is like so not ready for Christmas, guys. I was going to set up the Christmas tree on Saturday, but as mentioned, Sloth day, so it totally didn't happen. But I would. I would like it to have happened on the weekend, but it did not. I mean, technically speaking, I would have liked it to happen on the first weekend of December, but it did not. That's something that needs to be done. We will get to that once we finish this one. Alrighty, so I started the yearly reset and started goal setting. And I continued my goal setting yesterday. Started goal setting. Yeah, so I was kind of like earlier this year trying to think about how I wanted to do my goal setting process for what's the word? 2023. There's a lot of me just saying like, what's the word for this? I'm like, I feel like the Little Mermaid being like, oh, what's a fire? Oh, it burns and stuff. I'm just like, gosh, woman, pull it together. Anyways, so I was thinking about my goal setting for 2023 earlier in this year, and I was very much tempted to try a pre-set up goal planner, but it just didn't turn out that way. So instead, what I did was I wrote myself a list of these goal setting and planning prompts, and these are all available as like a free download over on my Patreon, because that's just a convenient place to put everything. So in my goal setting video, which is coming out later this week, later this week, we just kind of work through these up until here, because this part's about like planning the month ahead, and then that stuff is like, you know, end of month kind of deal, and it's only not even halfway through the month, so not quite ready for that part yet, but it is. Snow. I love snow. I want to experience a white Christmas one year. That would be cool. I mean, I probably should go and try and do that sooner rather than later, because, you know, global warming. Yeah, anywho. So, something that I would like to do. Not right now. Started goal set. Done. And then we had our patron hangout yesterday, which is always a good time. Love the patron hangout. The reading challenge, I mean, technically that went up on Saturday. So one of the things that I decided to do earlier last month, I think it was, or, you know, after I'd set up these pages, I think I did it on a Patreon Live. I went and populated each of the days with the video that was supposed to be coming out for Vlogmas. So just saying like, hey, this is the video that's coming out. Make sure that you post it on Facebook and post it on Instagram or whatever. And then they didn't necessarily come out in that order. So now they're a little bit skew-iff, but that's fine. And so I've just kind of been crossing it off as like for the video of the day, did you post it on Facebook or Instagram? Rather than doing a whole bunch of like, you know, migrated and then migrated back and whatever. So none of that. In terms of Sunday, I don't know what I want to write underneath this one yet. I do love this door. I think this door here, this little red and white one, is probably my favorite. I quite like the blue and white one. I think I just like the contrast. I know I just like the contrast, but I find that this one in particular just makes me very happy. It's probably because I subconsciously put more effort into it, because 11 is my favorite number. So we have the community live, and then notably we don't have the social pages because I decided to do a live instead. So the social pages are coming. They are coming tomorrow. And then the video that was scheduled for tomorrow is yes, it's not going to happen this Vlogmas, to be honest. Because when I filmed the which one was it? Excuse me. When I filmed the video for our like welcome to the book club introduction kind of thing, I made this foolish decision to update my streaming software, get out streaming video software, before I started, and it is buggy as heck. Like, it is very much just like the test edition of it. So I, didn't really realize that. So I installed it, and then it didn't record my audio. So I had to deal with the audio from the camera, which I know to most people is not that bad, but to me, I'm just like, this is not the quality that I strive for. How dare you betray me like this, computer? So I was supposed to film the video that we had for Tuesday, which was like the journal sizes, kind of like a little review of the journal sizes that we tried this year. But I was so flippin' mad, and I'm like, no, I don't even care. I don't care that I just did my hair and I put my face together so I look like an actual human, not a gremlin. I'm not doing it. I refuse to sit there and film another video just for the audio to cut out again. So that one's not going to be a right now video. It's not going to be a Vlogmas video. It's going to come at some point, but yes, all good. Yay! Got people here. Hello. I'm sorry if I've missed you saying hi, to anyone, because, sad. Let's see. Scrolling down. Excellent. A question. I love questions. So, when do you plan on releasing the 101 things in 2023? I love that you love my setups. The tips are really fun. I just think that they're quite cute. So I have that one planned for Thursday at this stage, and that's Thursday my time, so Wednesday for probably the majority of my audience. But that one, I still need to actually film it in its entirety, which is a today me problem. But that one is coming, and I'm excited that you're excited for it, because I am excited for it. I love the 101 things list. It's just obviously a lot of things, but I try to make them small, and I just try to make them fun. It's just a way to kind of keep myself doing things that I want to do, kind of a thing. A someday probably video. Yes, that one that I mentioned before is a someday probably video indeed. Like, I've already dragged it forward on my what's the word? My content schedule thing that I have on Notion. I've dragged it forward to next December. So it's sitting there waiting for next December. We'll see if that's actually what happens. We might have it sooner, but I do hope that next year I could try some more journal sizes. It's just been a little bit of fun. I mean, I am very excited to get back to an A5 for the start of, what's the word? 2023. You can tell, like, my brain is a puddle. Alrighty, so today we are doing our community live. Love that for us. We are also possibly going to try listing the pages that I need for January pages. We may even do some sketching, but I'm not too sure yet. We first need to figure out what I actually want to include, because that's always a good time. It's nice going in with a plan. Yeah. What else? Like, brain is a puddle. We're going to do some filming for sure, because it needs to be done. I also need to do a thumbnail for tomorrow's video. I also need to brainstorm my content planner pages. I'm just going to write content planner because I know that I mean pages, mainly just because I don't have a lot of space per day, and I know that I set it up that way intentionally. Like, I know in my soul that's what I did. I did that for a reason, but I just I do wish that I had a little bit more room to play. Yeah. Alrighty, so we've had this question a little bit recently because I think that maybe it's just like my accent's completely cattywampus or something, but I am an Australian. I am from Melbourne. I lived there until I was like 16, and then my family moved to New Zealand. So I spent my last 2 years of high school in New Zealand. And then, like, in theory, we were going to move back. We were going to move back after my 2 years. But of course, that's the 2 years where you actually start to make kind of like possible, like, lifelong friends for high school, I feel. So I was just like, nah, you know what? I don't actually want to go back to Melbourne. I'm just going to stay here and do university here. So I stayed. And I don't know, I never really had any intention of leaving after that. But of course, my parents were like, nah, we want to go back to Melbourne. Like, my mum in particular, she loves Melbourne. I mean, my dad does too, but so they moved back, and then not too far after that, my brother moved back, and I'm just like, all by myself, don't want to be, but I was all by myself. That's okay, because I'm a stubborn biscuit, so I was like, nah, you guys will move back one day, and now they're going to. So my brother, he went to like Korea. He did studying over there. Not studying, he was teaching, sorry. He was teaching English to small children as part of like a, I don't know, program that they had, which was cool. And my parents are still in Melbourne currently, but brother has moved back. He is here. He's gone back to university to do some further studying so that he can become a high school teacher here in New Zealand. And then I think at the end of 2024 is the current plan. My parents are going to move back. So I'm just like, the stubborn biscuit wins. You all come back to me. Excellent. I'm very excited about though. It's going to be nice just having the family all kind of like in the same space again, so I can kind of see them more regularly, I suppose. Let's see. So why do you change the size of your notebooks? So I used to not. I used to just effectively use an A5 all the time. Like, let's see. How many? I don't even want to count, but I'm going to. So we had 3 LT1917s as my first bullet journals. We then had 2 scribbles that matter. So that's 5. We then had the dingbats that I tried. We then had the first Archer and Olive. We had the Neapolitan Archer and Olive. We had the next Archer and Olive one, which was the Vintage Bee. I think. Yep, we had the Vintage B one. Then we had the Starry Skies one. And then we had the one at the start of last year. Yeah. What was the start of last year's journal? Oh, it was the green tealy kind of one, right? So after that, after 11 A5 journals, and that doesn't actually include my travel journal that was in an LT 1917, my first long-term collections journal, my second long-term collections journal, and my third long-term collections journal. Also have my yearly collections journal, which, so after all of those, after 16, nope, we had a Japanese learning journal as well. Didn't get highly used, but it was a thing. So after 17 A5 journals, I'm like, yeah, I could do with change. I could try something different. Let's live dangerously and go and change up our system that's working so well for us. So I just thought it would be good to try something different. I'm very much about the idea of, I keep bumping things, I apologize. Very much about the idea of kind of experimentation in your journal to find what works for you. I think at this stage, like with the ones that I've tried, and I know it's a biased opinion, and I know that it really probably needs more test data. I just love the A5 size, honestly. This one has been so super cute, and it's been really nice feeling that I could be more decorative with things. Like, I think I've been more decorative in this notebook than I have in pretty much any of my notebooks. Not so much on the weeklies, not that I ever really decorate my weeklies, but like this kind of thing I would never have dreamed to do in a B5 because it would have just been so big. But it's odd because in my mind, a B5 is really good for just pouring out lists kind of a thing, like super minimal kind of just writing. Whereas this one is like, oh yeah, I can do a whole bunch of decoration, but I'm like, you don't have that much space. So if you fill it with decoration, then there's not enough space left for like writing stuff. Ah, well, it's all good. Let's see. I'll scroll back up and see if I missed anything. And I know I did, so I apologize. I like stubbornness for the win. Yay! Yeah. Oh, awesome. I love that we, connections. This is why we do our mihis, right? Introduce and be like, I am from this place. I have family in this place. All of this kind of stuff because we have lots of connections, and I love that. All right. Yeah. Melbourne, what? I know that nobody in Melbourne says that, but I do, so stuff it. What? Dear. If you need the reminder, you should probably have a drink because hydration is important. Tink. I recognize that my mouse is literally right next to my speaker, microphone, whatevs. So apologies if it's just like click, 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 scroll, scroll, click, click, click. I'm very excited to be eventually, sometime soon, hopefully, updating this system because at the moment, like, you guys are on my webcam. My webcam is not super great at doing the focus thing. And the lighting change, like right there. We go from here, like my creepy hands, to, and then it goes, I don't know. At least it does on mine, but yes. Oh, like Monica says, absolutely. If you are here on the live, or actually I think technically even on the replay, if you don't want to miss anything in the chat that's on the side, I mean, I don't know if it comes up somewhere else on different systems. Anyways, if you're on the computer, it's on the side. Do make sure to go to the little thing at the top that says, like, it's probably say top chat. It's got a little down hat. What is the down hat called? The thing that's like an arrow that points down but without this arrow stem? Because this to me is an up hat and that is a down hat. But anywho, do make sure to change that to live chat so that you don't miss any of the conversation. Yay! Creepy hands. Why do I think my hands are creepy? Oh no, down hat is called a carrot. Really? It's a chonky carrot. But I'm also thinking of an orange carrot, or a purple carrot, or a white carrot. Why do I think my hands are creepy? I don't know. Okay, story time. And we're not going to hold this against him, but one time when I was wearing sandals, Vogel told me that I had veiny feet. And so now every time I wear sandals, I'm just like, my feet are hideous. And I mention it to him every time. I'm just like, remember that time you said that I had veiny feet? I'm just saying, just really, really hurt me, bro. And it's the kind of thing that I'm like, I feel that I'm self-aware enough to recognize that I I don't really necessarily feel that way about my feet, but I was just like, I need to bring it up to him because I'm like, words matter. When you say these things, they stick. So you need to be good about not shaming people's feet. That's it. That's the lesson for today, team. Don't shame people's feet. We forgive him. He didn't know any better. What an egg. But he should have known better. So what an egg. Anywho. Aw, yeah, I'm glad the layout's looking cute. I mean, like, all we've done really is write, like, 4 things down. Well, okay, 7. I can count, but still, it's cute. So for Sunday, we can note that we, like, continued goal setting. I'm going to put it down as a task, because then it feels like I was productive or something. Oh, look at me doing all the things I set out to do, as opposed to just haphazardly making my way through life. Making my way downtown, looking fast, faces fast, I'm home now. I don't know why. My stomach's like, you haven't fed me. What are you doing? I'm like, dude, we usually don't eat till like 2. Calm down. Ugh. But it's not having a bar of it today. It's probably just being a persnickety little biscuit. That's okay. So we did some goal setting yesterday. What else did we even do? Like, we did the patron life, which was awesome. And then I think it was like another sloth day. I think I like took a nap on the couch because of demotivation. Took a demotivated nap. That's just the way life is sometimes. It's one of those things that I'm very much trying to recognize or, like, you know, be a little bit more aware of, like, instances where my body is trying to tell me things. Like, you know, my body's just like, hey, maybe the fact that you're finding it really hard to focus on work right now is because you need a flippin' break, kind of a thing. So that's something that I've been trying to do. I know that somebody mentioned previously that they were having issues with the whatchamacallit thing where the stream is fuzzy. So I'm just going to refresh mine and hopefully that kind of fixes it. I don't know, because I feel like, is it just me or is this part here fuzzy to you guys? It's fuzzy for me, and I don't know if it's because there's something on my lens. I'm just gonna, I don't want to clean it though because it's gonna fall down because it's not very well positioned, but it's okay. It doesn't really matter. It's the illusion of things written on a page. Let's see, where are we? Ooh, can we get a video for making or marking a new journal in the middle of an existing journal? I'm feeling left out. That's fair. So because you've got a question now, I'm going to be right back because I'm going to go grab a notebook. We're going to look at a thing. All right. Whoosh. She moves with such swiftness. She is also a giant fibber. There we go. So the only time, okay, incorrect, but the only time, I guess, in terms of like an everyday bullet journal that I have started like a new year in the middle of an existing journal was my first one. And as you can see on the side of this one here, we've got some tape and stuff. So each of the different colors of tape kind of corresponded with my monthly theme because I've kind of like loosely trying to do some color themes. So we have silver for November, red for December, and then gold for my start of journal setup. So I can flip to there, and then this is where I started my new journal, effectively, like my new year kind of a thing. So I gave it a little welcome page. I was going to do a quote page. I didn't really finish it, as you can tell by the giant sticky label that says not finished. That's fine. Why is not you closing? Oh, because the tape here. One of the things to watch out for with washi tape, just as a complete side note, is that some washi tapes stick together, and this Merry Christmas tape in particular, while it's very cute and I do quite like it, the gold on this tape actually sticks to itself. So you can possibly see that like some areas of it have completely pulled away because it just sticks to itself. So anywho, going back over here. So in terms of starting a new journal in the middle of an existing one, this is how I have done it previously. I would also recommend putting some kind of like a tab in that sticks out the side so that it is very easy to find the start. Because one of the things that very much bothered me about this was the fact that it wasn't super easy to get to. Like I could use the gold washi to find it and stuff, but you kind of have to really look along the side there and very carefully open up to the right place. Whereas if you have a tab that sticks out the side of the notebook, it's going to be so much easier. Oh no, you're already hitting a wall and it's only 8:30. The struggle is real. I feel you though. Like that was literally my Saturday. Like I effectively woke up with my head hit against the wall. Is that a thing? Can you hit the wall when you wake up? That's what it felt like though. There we go. Alrighty. Squeeze me. Yeah. Have you tried going over the sticky washi with the corn flour to de-sticky? Ah, alrighty, that's an idea. I think it's one of those things that, like, honestly, because I don't really go into this journal very often, it doesn't bother me super much. And I have since disposed of this washi tape because it was one of my like this is my first journal, right? So it's one of my cheaper ones, cheaper tapes. That's a little bit, I don't know, but I love looking through my first journal, just like looking at my handwriting, being like, that was a choice. I remember coming, like the first time that I kind of turned back into this one and I saw this, I was like, what the heck happened to my journal? And I don't know if you can see it. We're just gonna put this back here. Gloria, scoochie down there. You see this like pink stripe here? That's not pen. That's pencil. Pencil bled through in my notebook. What the actual heck? So I'm very much like a, people say, oh, you can use pencil to avoid bleed through, and I'm like, I don't know, can you? Because like this one bled through, and I know that it's the pink in both cases, but I just thought that was interesting because it's bled through a little bit on here too, just random, a little bit interesting, but hey, all good. Which earthquake was that one? Oh dear. This was so cute. Oh yeah, when Vogel gave me a sticker for my journal, which is from Gears of War. Alrighty, I'm getting distracted again. Yeah, the pencil bled through. Ridiculous. So, any recommendations for learning lettering? Well, if you have any, let me know. I know that it's going to be one of those things that's really lame, but practice. Okay, so this comes with a little kind of extra, like on the side tidbit here though. When people say practice, like it's all good and well, to just be trying to do something repeatedly. But what's more important is the idea of intentional practice. So if you have a particular style of lettering that you're trying to mimic or whatever, then writing it out, if we're doing like the alphabet, okay, you write it out, all goods. Then going through each of the letters and being kind of nitpicky and specific about like what parts of these letters actually need work. So if you're needing a piece of paper, okay, seriously, we can figure this out. Okay, yeah, here we go. Hello, my old friend, my ginormator baby, which we're hard at fitting into spaces. We're gonna flip a fair bit forward. We might actually just flip to the back because why not? So, and I know that it's not focusing, and I apologize. Come on, camera, you can do this. We believe in you. Can you focus on that? Thank you. So if we go through the alphabet and actually just write out, like, you can either write the full alphabet to start with, or you could just focus on one particular letter, and you're just going to go like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. All right, so obviously I'm not trying any kind of fancy lettering here. It's just, what it is. But you go through each of the letters and you kind of get kind of nitpicky about what parts of them aren't right for you. All right, and those are the parts in particular that you want to practice over and over. So if we take the letter A, say, and I just write out A a bunch of times, and I'm just kind of trying to do it fairly the same each time. But even then, you're going to have slight variations with it. A. And you go through and you say, like, okay, well, which parts of these letters did actually kind of turn out the way I wanted them to? Which parts didn't? So, for instance, this guy here, and it might be hard to see, has this, like, little flick up at the end, which I think is kind of cute. So maybe that's something in particular that I want to intentionally practice. If we think about, like, let's say this guy here, his actual kind of like shape of the overall A formation isn't right. It's very sharp and pointed at the bottom, and that's not what I want to do. So like the flick here is something good, but the sharp point here is something bad. So it's like those are the kind of things that I'm looking out for when I'm actually doing my intentional practice, rather than just, you know, haphazardly going through it like, oh, look, I wrote like a full page of the letter A, but I still don't feel like I'm any better with my lettering. I hope that kind of makes sense. I mean, obviously I'm not like a letterer per se, but that is something that I find to be helpful for pretty much any skill building. Yeah. Ooh, show me your drills by Happily Ever Crafter. And I know that we also had a letter recommendation is the word I'm looking for. We also had a recommendation for Cindy, because Cindy's a gem, and I think her first videos on YouTube were ones about lettering as well. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, it's that idea of like intentional practice, not just kind of haphazard, willy-nilly kind of practice. Also, drink break. Tink. Thank you. Focusing. So I know we had a question before about 23s and 2023. So I figured, just for, you know, why not, we will take a perusal at me journal, which I have not filled in yet. That is another future me problem, I suppose. But things to look forward to. So if you were still looking for 23s in 2023, and I would love it if people who are here would drop theirs in the comments too, because, you know, it's always good to have other people's opinions. So the ones that I am going with for the year ahead are 23 movies watched, 23 TV show seasons. It doesn't necessarily need to be 23 different TV shows. So I could, like, you know, watch what's something that has multiple seasons, like New Girl season 2 and 3 and 4, like that would count as separate entries. Artists listen to, in particular I'm thinking musical artists, not you know, I know what's the word for people who do physical art, not physical artists. I don't know how to describe that. Podcasts listen to, I think I'm going to make that podcast episodes. Yeah, I think that's what I wrote. Yeah, podcast episodes listened to, because obviously these labels are smaller. I don't have quite as much space to write. I am going to be attempting 23 games played. And I mean, like, I don't necessarily for this hold myself to like, you must get 23. It's more just like I like to track how many I've done in general, which is awesome. So meat-free dinners, new foods tried, social gatherings attended. So that could be like social gatherings at my house, or it could be out of the house. Because I think that last year I worded it as social outings, and then I got kind of weird about it. So, you know, wording's important. Dates with Vogel. I was going to write date nights, but again, wording's important. We're not necessarily going to go at night. JFF or LTC layouts. So JFF is just for fun. So just for fun or long-term collection layouts. And unlike last year, I actually have a place in here to record what they were, because I would find myself forgetting, like, did I actually record this? And then I'd record it twice, or I wouldn't record it at all. Messy. And then we have Cricut projects, because I've actually set up the Cricut now. Not that it is in his forever home. I'm just like staring at it right now. You're not in your forever home, but we need to find a space for you that actually makes sense. Hair masks and face masks, 20-minute workouts, which somebody commented saying they should have been 23-minute workouts. And like, oh, they so should have, like, missed opportunity, but it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. But I'm not going to do a 23 liter of water day. That would be ridiculous. But last year I set it as a 2-liter water day, which I have a 1-liter water bottle. So once I fully drink it, I'm just pretty much never inclined to go fill it up again. Like, yeah, I'm hydrated enough. It'll be fine. So what happens when you complete some of the 23s early, but you still want to continue? So typically the ones that I complete, that's a good question. Let's actually come back to that. I'm going to save that question for later. Yeah, little star. So SM task done. Someday maybe. I'm like, SM? Social media? What? No. Someday maybe tasks done, so that then I actually do some of my future me problem tasks. Work-free days are really hard for me to, first of all, do, and second of all, like, measure, because when your work is on social media, I feel like even just going on social media feels like work, even though it isn't. Like, I might just be like aimlessly scrolling through Instagram or something like that. And like, technically it's not like work. it's not necessarily the best use of my time, but like it's not work. But yeah, that's something I need to do more of. Sad. Live streams. So yay, we can look forward to more live streams in the year ahead because I want to do more of them. I find them very fun. We were talking yesterday in my patron hangout, the idea of like productivity sprints and then like maybe doing some of those, which would be kind of cool. So if you'd be cool, if you'd be cool for that, if you'd be keen for it, you just let me know because I'm here to please, right? That's kind of like value added kind of thing. Collaborations with other people, shop products, shop sales, and $100 saved. I mean, before I do my shop products and sales, I should probably like properly launch my shop. Like my shop is there. It exists. Some people find it as well, which is even more awesome. But yeah, yay for live streams. I'm glad you guys are excited. So coming back to the questions that we had before. So what happens when you complete some of the 23/23s in 23 early, but you still want to continue? So this totally happened for my ones in 2022. If we flip on back. So some of these got completed very early on, like my no food out challenge. That one got done like, by March, I suppose, which is kind of sad that it took till March now as I think about it, but it's okay. I just shushed you to the microphone rather than to the camera, but it's all good. So that one did get completed, earlier on, but I also tracked it via this one here when I actually remembered to come in and check it. So in terms of other ones that I completed earlier though, so work-free days, I guess I would say I completed it earlier. It took me till November to get to 22 work-free days, which is like, wah, wah. Other ones I had were like my movies watched and my TV shows seasons watched. So along with recording them here on the 22/22s list, because this is effectively just for like the first 22 instances of having done anything in the year of 2022. The other ones that I consumed, I guess, ended up on my media consumed list. What you could also do if you had something that wasn't like a media consumed kind of thing, you could also just add in a tip in and be like, haha, more kind of a thing. So that could work as well. Hopefully that helps. But I very much enjoyed this. I mean, I liked using the multiple colors for the kind of color scale thing that we ended up with, but I also know that it meant that I had to keep the set of pens out for the entire of the year so that I knew which colors they were, and that bothered me. So next year, I'm just going to be using like black and gray effectively is my plan. Go on and start a whole bunch of things. Let's see. What products would you be willing to sell? That's a good question. Currently, so far, I've only been doing digital products. So I have a spending like a spending tracker kind of a thing. So it's effectively an Excel document that people can populate with like a daily log of their spending. So it's like you write out, this was the date, this is a note about it, this is the category, and this is the amount kind of a thing. And it automatically totals everything up for you so that you kind of get a summary of each of the months and what you spent your money on. That's what I have as one of them. And then my other one is a Notion bundle for like a bullet journal. It's effectively a digital... Oh God, my throat. Excuse me. Better. Okay. It's effectively a digital bullet journal, but it's done via Notion. So it's got like a bunch of different kind of templates set up in there so that you can kind of just press on them and it automatically sets you up a monthly log, or you can press on a button and it automatically sets you up a weekly log, that kind of stuff. And it's got a bunch of like other little bits and pieces. So that's what's in there at the moment. I am very much hoping to venture into the realm of physical products, but I do like the idea of digital products just because you get them right away. Like instant gratification, I suppose. Like, hey, you set your purchase, you paid the money, bam, it's with you. Here it is. Very nice and easy. Also, just if you need the reminder, tink, drink break. Yeah, in a few years I won't have enough spaces to do the 20x and 20xx kind of thing. It's just going to be a mess. But I also don't know, like, how long is it going to be until... Because there's 26 across, right? I think by the year 2027, that's a while away in my mind. By that point, I might not even want to do this anymore. Because I think even just thinking of 27 things that I want to do 27 times feels like a little bit of a stretch. So I'll probably go back to something like, 28 before 2028, or I'll just continue with the 101 things list because I love the 101 things list. I'm very much looking forward to populating my 101 things list because the one that we have from this year, like, we've gotten a good chunk of it done. I mean, say 3 co-op games with Vogel. Technically, I mean, what does it count as play? Because we did, oh gosh, what's it called? It Takes Two, which was absolutely awesome. We also started playing Overcooked 2, but we haven't finished it, and we've been playing The Quarry, which technically is like a single-player game, but also technically it has a co-op mode, where you kind of just take it in turns to play characters, so yeah, shrug. There we go. So yeah, I love that. Yay, digital products. Yeah, resizing them and stuff. So I would possibly like to, because I mean, I know I have a bunch of trackers that I give to my patrons each month. So possibly at some point I'd put them up on my little shop, my little store, so that then I could, you know, give it to other people if they wanted to just buy a one-off tracker kind of a thing. But yeah. Anywho, yeah, It Takes Two is an awesome game. Oh, stuck at 53 things. Is this 53 things for this year or 53 things for next year? Because if you're headed into next year with 53 things on your 101 things list, that's awesome. Because yeah, I typically don't like to I don't like to fully like populate this list until I have like gotten pretty much halfway through the actual year, because I like to give myself some room for flexibility. Like, we got to November this year, and I'm like, I would have loved to have try a pumpkin spice latte on here, but I did not put it on. So I was just like, wah. Good question. Do you carry forward what you didn't finish? Well, you're gonna have to wait and find. No, I'm kidding. So, in terms of the list, at the end of the year, I like to do kind of a review of the stuff that I have left and think about, like, is this still something that I would actually like to do? Like, do I actually want to have a social media free day, or do I honestly not give a toss? Like, you know, so going through it and thinking about it in terms of if it's something I actually want to carry forward. Some of them I will, some of them I won't. Some of them I'll probably like tweak, but it's all good. I know, like, having a look at this, like, some of them I want to do. Like, I would still like to try Vietnamese coffee. I'm not really a big coffee drinker, but because it's got the sweetened condensed milk in it, I think it might be a little nicer. There we go. Hey, you've got 36 items so far. That's awesome. Like, I haven't even started mine. Mine's just sitting here naked, not got anything on it. Being a sad guy, just like my future me problems list. Just waiting to be populated. But that's a problem for future Jess. Like today or something. Like, at some point soon I will think about it, but yes. Ooh, what's Overcooked like? So Overcooked is either a really great way to, you know, strengthen your communication skills with your partner, or it's a really good way to not speak for the rest of the day. Yeah, if you want some time alone, just play some Overcooked with your partner, and then you guys won't be speaking. It's the kind of thing that, like, it's very much a collaborative work together, and you do need to actually talk to each other, but yeah, it's it can be a way to really test things. It is fun though. I will say it is fun, and when you do complete a level that's been tricky, it feels like a very big accomplishment. But yeah. Oh dear. Let's see. So yeah, Overcooked with 4 people. Oh my gosh. That, I don't know if I'd be able to do it. Like, it's bad enough trying to play with Vogel. He's like, what's coming next? I'm like, just check the damn recipe card. It's in the top corner of the board. Why can't you just figure it out? Kind of thing, getting very irritated by the fact that he just won't look at the recipes that are coming up. I'm like, you're supposed to be cutting the tomatoes. Why aren't you cutting the tomatoes? But yes. Oh, yay! We have a new YouTube member. Welcome to the official team with capital T. Love having you here with us. Super excited. So excited. And it's been really cool seeing people's little emojis change from, like, the green one that you start with, and then after a month, like, if you're still part of, you know, quote, the team, then you get a blue one, and then after I think it's 2 months you get a purple one. I can't remember. It's exciting. It's like that called, like, leveling up kind of thing. It's very cute. Oh dear. Yeah. Yeah, see, we can do whole Viva La Chaos, but not while you're playing Overcooked. I will not have that kind of tomfoolery in my kitchen. Get out of here. Yeah. Oh, yay! Steph is blue. I love that. Yeah. I think that it's just very, very cute. I like the little icons, and it's like, you know, little team members. It's just very special to me. There we go. Alrighty, you have 2 things penciled in for your list. Celebrate your birthday and write next year's list. Yeah, 100%. That is always like on my list. I always like to make my 101st. I keep calling it my 101th, and I know that that's wrong, but I keep calling it that. My 101th thing is always write my list for next year. So that one's kind of like a reserved kind of thing, which is cool. All right, where was I actually going with this? I don't remember. I don't know if you guys can hear my stomach, but he's being like a right biscuit right now. I'm like, y'all need to calm down, like, please, and thank you. So another project for me later this week is to populate my everyday journal kind of thing. And I love how it turned out. It's just like peace inducing. Excuse me. I'm not very savvy with this type of lettering, but I used it at the start of my journal, like my first everyday journal last year, and I loved it. So I was like, I need to do it again. I must. You've been binging my playlist. Yeah. I do appreciate that when new people find me, you got so much content to watch. You can keep watching for days. Like, it's all good. We've got a lot here. Building up that list. There we go. Yeah, 23 because 101 is too much is completely justified. Need to populate you. I've already done my level 10 life because I did it as part of my goal setting. I now just need to put it in here. And I'm thinking I'm going to do a bar graph of some description, but that is something to decide a little bit later. And then originally I was only going to have like 2 goals because that's something that I've kind of been trying recently. Apologies, because the focus is out and I don't know how long it's been out for. Rude focus. I think it probably just started, but anywho. I was only going to have 1 goal, so I was like 2 goals. So it was going to be here and then it was going to be action plan. But now I have, after doing my goal setting, I've actually got a fair few more. Yes, rip my hands with the plaid because it was a struggle. Nah, it's not that bad. I mean, like, I was a lot smarter about how I tackled the plaid this time because the first time I did the plaid, I used my tiny ass little, like, pen for coloring in the boxes as well, which was a choice. Like, just absolutely not. Should not have done that. Alrighty. Would you consider doing a weekly spread for housewives? I mean, yeah. I don't see why not. I don't know what kind of things you guys would need on there, but I mean, I'm always down for more weekly spread. What's the word? Inspiration. I have an eyelash in my eye right now, so if I seem distracted, that's because there's an eyelash in my eye. And it's just like, ouch, my eye. But yeah, I would totally consider doing that. I would like to do more of those kind of compilation idea video kind of things. Not compilation. But you know the one that we did for the weekly spread ideas that we had recently, where I had the little kind of Excel maps of like how you could set it up yourself? Personally, I thought that was quite valuable. Hopefully it was valuable for other people as well. But I thought it was just like, you know, nice to give you a little schematic of how to set that up. Anywho, calendars. And then my reset process, I'm going to be filling in as part of my whole, like, you know, populating my journals for the new year. So the video that we have coming out on, I say Christmas Day, it'll be Christmas Day for me, at least. And by Christmas Day, I mean like 1 a.m. on Christmas Day is going to be me populating my journals. So if you wanted to see the lists I put in for my reset, then stay tuned for that long chatty video of me just putting stuff in. Yeah. I'm glad that you guys found the Excel maps good. I mean, I thought they were useful. Obviously, they are sized to the Artronol of notebooks, but, you know, there's only so much I can do. There we go. Don't know how to put the house chores so they look good on paper. Fair. All goods. So here we are with the blurb. And I think the reason that it's blurry is because there's nothing for it to focus on. We'll just leave my hand very still. Because if I move it, it'll be like the blur. But in this part of the plan, use your words. Come on, Jessica. In this part of the notebook, I was supposed to set up a page dedicated to my, like, what are they called? Like journal theme planning pages. We'll see if I can find, where did I put my old journal? Don't move, the blur's coming. Okay, we're good. We avoided the blur. So I used to set up these pages either at the back of my notebook or I'd set them up like just before the next month kind of a thing. But this is my planning page where I'll put in like, you know, what is my theme Yeah, what is my theme for the month? What's the color palette? What kind of like quote aesthetic am I going for? Which usually isn't like, you know, all that aesthetic, but it's more just kind of to give me an overall like vibe or like feeling that I'm going with. So, you know, like for fireflies, my aesthetic was fireflies. Duh. And then just like kind of little sketchy lettering and like less blended marker kind of a thing. So those were the things that I was going for. A lot of the time, the thing that I end up writing in the aesthetic notes is like contrast, because I love contrast. We love a good like white lettering on black moment kind of a thing. It's cute and I like it. So I didn't set these pages up though. So that is something that I do need to put in my journal. So I think maybe that's what I'll do now, because, you know, it's a work with me. We might as well actually do some work. I wonder if you guys have been getting things done. How much progress are you making on your tasks? I mean, if your task is to sit here and listen to me ramble, then you're totally crushing it. Just saying. Anywho, first though, tink. Beverage time. My favorite time. I don't understand how ASMR creators can just like whisper all the time. This makes me feel unsettled. I don't like it. It's okay. We won't be doing this for very long. Ooh, updated most of your journal. Killing it. Yay, finishing your then and now spread. Huzzah! Oh my god, 2 grad school papers. Oh, crushing it. Yes, finishing your watercolor, finishing off your glitter pen Christmas card elements. Excellent. Doing laundry, listening to me, painting, crushing it. You guys are getting so many things done. Be proud of yourselves. Huzzah. Alrighty, kids, we're at the 1 hour mark, you know. There's an hour of your life that you were just doing stuff with, and hopefully you enjoyed it, because enjoyment is the primary objective. Bam! Anyways. Ooh, putting your goals into your Moxie life. That's exciting. Yay. Focus the camera. Never. Fine. I mean, there's nothing for it to focus on right now, is the kind of thing. Like, I have absolutely no control over the focus of this camera because it's my cruddy webcam, and he has the issues. There we go. You can watch my finger dance. I'm going to put those away because they're creepy. So what I do want to do on this page, though, is set up my theme planning pages. And I think that I'm going to keep them fairly simple. So we're just gonna. I need to space some things out. I will need me pencil. Let's see. Ooh, baking gifts. Yum. All right. I need to do baking. I mean, I don't need to do anything. I keep saying this to myself, like, I need to do this. I need to do this. I'm like, actually, you don't. You can just, like, be a little blob person and just do nothing. That's fine. You can do that. Yep. Struggling with a reset setup, fair. Yeah. No, we don't want your beautiful girls. Get your beautiful girls out of here. I mean, like, no, we're allowed to have beautiful girls. Beautiful people here, very welcome. But, like, not spammy beautiful girls. Let's not. There we go. Goodbye. Goodbye with your unwanted content and spamminess. We don't need any of that. We're trying to do stuff here. Trying to live our best lives. Get out. Thank you, Monica. Ever helpful. Doing the hides. Doing the get out of here jail free card things. Where was I going with this? I need some more pens. So this one is my 08, which is nice and thick. Yeah. I like these for boxes because I prefer boxes with like thick outlines. Exactly. We're all beautiful people here. Get out with your, I don't know, spammy comments. I also probably want another pen that isn't quite as thick to do the titles. Yeah. Because I think like I could continue this style of lettering, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep it like super simple, because this page I feel like is kind of not related to the last one because it doesn't get the tartan buffalo plaid kind of setup kind of thing. Yeah. Ooh, fresh pens. I love fresh pens. I actually like super love fresh pens. I was using this one yesterday, which is a pen that a pen color at least, that I completely used up during my May setup. So Archer and Olive very kindly sent me a replacement because I am a little biscuit and I needed to have that color because that color is excellent. But of course, when I was last using it, it was really like desaturated because I had, effectively used it up. So then when I came to use the new one, I'm just like, wow, this first of all, nice fresh tip. And second of all, very much more saturated than I was expecting. Gorgeous, but still. There we go. Ooh, good question. Want to include resets next year? How do you decide which day of the week, month to do it on? So For my weekly resets, I pretty much always do my weekly reset on a Sunday because it really just depends on like which day of the week do I actually have the time to get this done. And then which day do I consider to be like the start of my new week? Considering my reset is very much like, you know, preparing for the week ahead type thing. So because my week, by my standard or whatever, starts on a Monday, I like to have my reset be the day before that. So it's like I move into Monday with the fresh slate feeling. That's what I like to do. Squeeze me. For my monthly reset, this one's a little bit tricky because I've been doing them like filmed more recently. So I kind of have to fit that around like when I can actually film it, I suppose. If I was not filming them, I would probably do it on the last Sunday of the month as a kind of like replacement for the weekly reset, I suppose. Or I do it in conjunction with my weekly reset, depending on how much kind of crossover there is in your reset checklists, if that kind of makes sense. So I like having them on the same day because typically Sunday is the day that I can actually have that kind of dedicated time to do stuff. But as I have been filming them, they've been happening on a Tuesday or happening on a Wednesday, just depending on when I could actually film them. But if I wasn't filming them, probably would happen on a Sunday. Ooh, okay, question. Which do you recommend for fine liners? I mean, I've been very much enjoying my microns, but I also know that they're expensive. They're not necessarily in everybody's price range. I know that Statler does fine liners as well, which are pretty good. I don't think they're quite as black, ? But people have still said good things about them. I used to use the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens, but I've found that I prefer the microns because they have a wider range of sizes mainly. Like there's a lot of good different options for sizes in the microns. So that's kind of been something that I've been enjoying. Fine liners in general are not something I actually enjoy using because I don't even consider myself to be all that heavy-handed, but when you've got like little nub and tip here kind of a thing, which is soft enough that after a while, and often like not after very long, it blunts. And I know you can't see it, but it is there. It exists. But it blunts the tip, and that kind of frustrates me. So more often than not, I actually just enjoy using my Inkjoy pen because it's got a ballpoint, so you can't... I mean, you probably could, but I have not blunted a ballpoint pen before. So I think that, that's probably something that I would prefer to use, except for the fact that it's not waterproof. And I know that for this page in particular, with the little boxes that I'm doing, they're going to get filled in with Tombos, which are a water-based marker. So I want to use something that's going to be, not bleeding out and all that kind of stuff. I don't want it bleeding out in my journal. Also, I just don't want my Tombos to pick up the ink, so we just need to not do that kind of thing. So hopefully that helps. I fine liners, personal recommendation. Microns, I really like them. I like the size variation. I like the quality of black, but I'm also not really a fine liner like enthusiast. Yeah, always crushing the tips. See, there we go. Team Melbourne, what? Team Inkjoy, what? Just onto it. And yes, I'm a complete goober, but shh. Alrighty, how long have we been live? Approximately 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 16 seconds, according to my timer at least. Yes, the archival ink. So, now as we've gotten ourselves sufficiently distracted again, which, it is what it is. We're still getting stuff done. We're tending in the right direction. All is well. Small progress is still progress. So it's all good. 9.5? ? Yes. Don't doubt yourself. You are correct. Good job, me. So, we're distracting you more than helping you work. It's fine. No, I don't mind. We were here to hang out anywho. That's what it is. It's the work with me for 2 hours. The work doesn't necessarily have to be like in my journal. It could just be answering questions. That's all good too. I love answering questions. Let's see. Where was I going? Can't remember. 5. Yes, the 05. And apologies for the autofocus. See, this is why I want to upgrade me little setup that I have here. Hello, thank you. Come on, camera. You can do it. So I want to upgrade my little setup here so that then we don't have this issue. Because also, like, when I write things, it, like, focuses on the nubbin of the pen sometimes, and then it's just like, it's making a mess, but it's all good. Ooh, okay. Any recommendations for a B6 or A6 Bujo similar to Archer and Olive? If you want 160 GSM, I don't necessarily have any recommendations for that, just because I'm really not sure, sorry. But, excuse me. You can get B6 ones from the washi tape shop, I know that much, but they are only 120 GSM, I think, rather than the, what's the word, 160 GSM. Do I want one letter per thing? I'm going to do one letter per thing. January. Can't believe that it's almost the start of the year again. And I try and avoid saying that in my videos because I feel like every YouTuber says it in their videos. Like, where did the time go? It's the start of the year again. Oh my god. But I'm just like, for realsies though. Yeah, sorry. I don't have any 160 GSM recommendations for that one. But yes, February. I am quite excited because I'm thinking that one of the things that I want to do next year, you know how sometimes people have those like overarching year-long themes for their, like, I guess for their themes. Okay, we need to pause here because I will spell February wrong. Feb, Ru. Whoever decided to put that in was an egg. February. I've like gotten it like in my head, so I'm just like, I need to just look it up. I know that that's really sad, but because I feel like I know how to spell it. Yeah, okay, I was right. Yeah, the camera focusing makes part of the charm. Oh, that's nice. February. I can do the writing. I can do it. February. Cute. Done. Killer. Boom. So I was kind of thinking about doing a year-long theme, but not in the sense of like a year of florals or a year of like birds or where the heck is my eraser? I know you're here somewhere, my good friend, but I can't see you, and it frustrates me. But yeah, so I was thinking of doing a year-long theme of some description, but I wanted it to still be a kind of wide enough theme that it didn't feel like, oh look, a whole year of the sameness. Waha. So my thought is that for 2023, I'm going to do a year of novel holidays. So, for instance, Odd Socks Day in November, kind of a thing. And we've got like Apple Tree Day in January, and we've got Emo Day in December, and stuff like that. So I'm thinking I'm going to do something like that for my yearly theme. So it means that like you don't get a year of like a whole same old thing, but you still get like an overarching kind of theme of some description. Of course, my patrons get to vote on my theme, so we put together a poll and then they vote, and then I do whatever theme comes out of that. So like for December, on the poll we had Christmas Village, and we had what's the word? Christmas Village and Advent Calendar, and a couple of other options too. But Christmas Village and Advent Calendar came tied, so that's why we did them. We did both of them. It was like a Christmas Village with Advent Calendar things. April. There we go. Yeah. In Polish, what, February is luty? I don't know. I'm probably saying that completely wrong, but that's quite cute. That's a much easier word to spell than February. Who decided to chuck the extra R in there? And I know it's probably something for like linguistics and whatever and blog, but still. Grr. Aw. Thank you for being here while you could, Lily. Have a good not being here time, I guess. And if you're on the replay, welcome back. It's such a pleasure to have you back with us. Huzzah, let's go do the thing. Alrighty. Eraser time. One of the things that I find with erasing is that I know in my soul that I have to like wait and like just wait a little bit so that I can erase it without smudging ink. But sometimes I'm just like, nah, it'll be fine. I'm like, why do you do this to yourself? Why do you do this now? Never really seen you live. Well, I'm glad that you could make it along this time. That's exciting. Yeah, seeing all these members in the chat makes me happy. I know, right? Me too. I'm like, all your names come up in like different colors, and it's just really special. I'm like, oh, that's so exciting. All right, let's see. Where were we going? So Gravity Day is September 8th. Interesting. And then, of course, yes, like Pirate Day. And then there's just like a heap of different like little mini celebrations. And I honestly want to celebrate more of them. So I thought, hey, why not do those as a theme in my journal? I thought that would be kind of cute. So thought it would be kind of cute. Story of my life. Okay, probably not. Story of my journal. Me journal. Blink. Blink. These are thicker than I remember, probably because the nib of this pen is blunted. That's okay. It's fine. I don't mind some chunky lines. Make me happy on the inside. I do appreciate the sizing in the Archer and Olive A5, and by extension other A5s that are 13 centimeters of dot spacings across, because you can fit these boxes in and go the whole way across with a little gap between each of them quite nicely. Appreciate it when the spacing works out. It's actually just super satisfying when the spacing of something works out, especially when it's something that's like outside of the usual, or like a little bit different. Goodbye for now, Deb. Thank you for being here while you could be. It's a pleasure to have you here. It's a pleasure to have all of you guys here. Here we go, ruling lines. Getting things done. There we go. So in terms of like my my goal setting that I've been doing, one of the goals that I kind of am trying to work on next year, I mean, like technically at the moment, I suppose as well, but next year, is the idea of kind of community building in terms of our like little JashiiCorrin community kind of a thing. And so I want to make sure that we have more live streams, because it's time for kind of not necessarily face-to-face interaction, but it's live interaction kind of a thing. Get it? Because it's a live stream. It was not a joke. Anyways, so that, but also more hangouts, because I've been really enjoying having our little community hangouts, and I'd like to make them a kind of monthly thing. So if you were not already aware, over on the JashiiCorrin community Discord server, we have like a little space for just like free chat, like voice chat, that is. And so I've been kind of trying to do it so every so often, and what I want to do is like once a month, we have a scheduled community kind of hangout time. It doesn't necessarily have to be for like super long. Like, some of my hangouts end up going for like 12 hours. Not necessarily my patron hangouts, because I think even my patrons would get sick of me after 12 hours. But our book club meeting the other day, after we'd done the actual book club meeting aspect of it, which was about 40 or so minutes, some of us just stayed in there and we just worked on our journals for like literally 12 hours. It was great. But it's just an opportunity to hang out with some cool people, just like have some chill time and stuff like that. So I'd like to do more of that next year, where it's just an opportunity for people to come along, hang out, do some work in their journal, just get away from other stuff. There we go. But that is for future Jess to set up. I'd say it's a future me problem. I don't really see it as a problem. I think it's going to be a bit of fun, honestly, but I thought that'd be kind of nice. Yeah. I don't know, hangouts, yeah, so fun. Like, it's just like, we just like got some like the greatest people on the internet, honestly. But like, let's just toot our own horns for a second. The greatest people on the internet, and then we can just hang out. Doesn't need to you don't need to be on camera or anything. You can just lurk. It's just kind of nice having company while you're just doing your thing. Doing your thing. This part is always the worst, though. The ruling of the lines in the vertical direction, because you can't just line the ruler up and just go all at once like you can with the horizontal ones. So it takes a little longer, to the extent where I'm probably going to get to a point where I'm like, I don't care. It's only 1 centimeter. I'm sure you can draw a line that's 1 centimeter long that's straight enough. I say that, but if I decide to not use the ruler, I will end up making a mess. Yeah. Yeah, so when we do our hangouts, I do typically try and make it at 2 scheduled times that are like 12 hours apart effectively, so that in theory there is a time that people can make. I mean, I'm trying to think of what time it would have to be for someone for them to not be able to make either, but I do try and make it so that they're both on what would effectively be the weekend for people, in a sense. So I might do it like 8 a.m. on a New Zealand Sunday, and then 8 p.m. on a New Zealand Sunday. So then there's, in theory, a time that people could make. I mean, like, technically I could set it up for 7 and 7. That might work better. Because I just know that, like, if I do an 8 a.m., if the hangout was only 8 a.m., say, for New Zealand time, then it means that, like, my good friends in Melbourne could make it if they want to wake up at like 6 a.m. But like also it's Sunday, boo hiss. Why would you want to wake up at 6 a.m.? Yeah. Squeeze me. Discord is one of those things that like it is very it's kind of confronting when you first join. I feel like it's not necessarily as user friendly as other platforms, but it does also have a lot of functionality, I find. So we've had a couple of people like when they join, they're like, oh, okay, we'll just like press around on the channels, have a look, which is like totally fair because that's, how you find things out and stuff. But if you press on a voice channel and you're not familiar with how to get out, they kind of get stuck. They're like stuck in a voice channel, like, no, let me out. Yeah. So every so often when we have new people join, because every so often I actually kind of send out an invite in a video and we have a little influx of people, just jump into the voice channel when you find a new person and they'll be like, hey buddy, are you stuck? Do you know how to get out? Just looking out for you, because I've had that a couple times, like where I kind of press on a voice channel accidentally and have a panic moment of like, how do I get out of here? I'm stuck. Somebody help. I'm falling and I can't get up. Kind of a thing. But we have a very, as said, very good bunch of people in there. And I think that's the kind of thing, like, with the whole goal. With the goal of, is my sound still out, or can you guys hear me? Sad face. I don't know. Sound is fine, sound cut out. Okay, I don't know. Okay. Well, hopefully y'all can hear me, because I'm going to continue running my mouth, as I do. Because I know this doesn't work with me, but it's actually just an opportunity for me to talk at you, right? Right? Valerie's here. I can't remember what I was saying because I got distracted, but I'm excited. Yay, we can hear me. So where was I going with this? Oh, yes. So the general idea for this goal is that, like, we're building a community. Like, we have a community already. We're strengthening our community, strengthening our community with more opportunities for, like, genuine kind of live interaction, whether that be via live streams like this, where I'm just doing my thing, chatting at you, asking questions, kind of a thing, and you guys can talk in the chat, which we love. Or if it's via Hangouts, where I don't necessarily even, I guess, have to be there, I suppose, but you guys get to hang out with each other. It's just like that idea. We're making internet friends here. But as part of that, I want to make sure that we're keeping our space like safe and respectful and like in a way that is actually a nice place to be. I don't need any kind of like, I don't even know what the word is, because I'm not necessarily thinking like toxic, because I do not expect we would ever get to a place where our community would turn toxic. But I want to make sure that I'm putting things in practice so that then we can stay that like safe and nice and respectful kind of place, if that makes sense, because I'm not out here to police people in terms of their behavior. I like to think that you guys are adults and you can, check yourself and whatever. But just making it so that it's set up in such a way that it promotes that kind of an environment. Does that kind of make sense? I feel like I'm rambling. Probably because I am. But still. Oh, how exciting! Look at this. Look at this, everybody. Yay! A new member of the team with a capital T. It is such a pleasure to have you as part of our team. How exciting. I love it. I love that you've got your little icon now to say, huzzah, I am an official member of, quote, the team, with a capital T. we have a few teams, obviously, because we have Team Patron, which are my patron team. You know, they are over on Patreon. They get patron perks and that kind of thing. We also have the team here on YouTube, so the general wider community, which is, you know, team with a lowercase t. But then we also have the team Boom with a capital T here on YouTube, and those are the actual like kind of channel members and stuff. But all of you are very valued, and I appreciate, regardless of which team you decide to join. It is all good. Yay! And you guys get to use the little emojis and everything. I love it so flippin' much. And also, just if you were wondering, don't forget, tink, drink break. Excellent. Good question. So we're going to put that one up because that one is important. So if you are subscribed to the channel, subscription completely free, all right? That's just effectively a way to get me into your subscriptions list so that when you are browsing through YouTube kind of a thing, I think that, can I even show you on my phone? I don't even know if it'll show up on my phone. I also don't want to like get a copyright strike because something weird comes up on my phone. But if you are on your phone and you are, you know, on your general place, which, I mean, I was looking up December bullet journal kind of stuff. Ooh, best tool for video creation. So one of the things that you have is this little subscriptions button down the bottom here, which has the little red dot. When you press on here, it brings up a list of people who you are subscribed to, so that you can more easily find their videos. So if you subscribe to the channel, you can more easily find the new content that I'm sharing, effectively, is the long story short of it. Also, it gives me a little mood boost because I'm like, yay, the community's growing. But anyway, the join button, though, is a paid thing. So at the moment, we only have one tier on the YouTube paid version, I guess. And it's just like kind of like another way to support me as a creator, and also you get like little perks yourself. At the moment, the main perk is just that you get like private kind of messages, like not private in the sense that I'm messaging you specifically, but it's more like you get team with a capital T only posts, I guess you could say, via my community tab. And those ones also kind of come up somewhere. I don't know, sure. But so subscription is just, you know, completely free, just gets me onto your subscriptions list so you can more easily find my stuff. Whereas the join button is where you join the team with a capital T and you get those team exclusive posts. Hopefully that makes sense. But welcome to the team. Love having you guys as part of the team. Very exciting. Ooh. No, you missed leaving a page for one of your calendars. Yep, 100%. I'm behind the idea of using a tip-in. Tip-ins are good ideas. Enough of us in the team, we get a Discord color roll like that. If there are enough of us in the thing, can we get a Discord color? I don't see why not. We could totally give you guys a patron color. Patron color, get out. We can totally give you a color on the Discord. I just don't know how to... I can't necessarily set it up through YouTube. I might have to look at it, but I can totally do that for you. Yes, I would be totally fine for that. Yay! We have another member of the team. Welcome to the team with a capital T, the Migraine Warrior. It is so glad having you with us. All the good things. I also find that, like, because I'm using StreamYard, it doesn't necessarily show up icons. So that little kind of circle with the two lines, that's what the icon is supposed to be. But not really. It's not the right icon. But still, you guys get the idea. Very exciting. We had another question. Yes. Is that different for Patreon or a new name for Patreon? Okay, so yes, it is different from Patreon. So Patreon is a separate website with separate perks. So my patrons have 5 different tier options, and they get a variety of perks based on which tier they join. Obviously, the higher the tier, I say higher in terms of like monetary contribution. So the higher the tier, the more perks you get, effectively. So if you join the top tier, you get literally all of the perks. If you join any of the other tiers, you get any of the ones from your tier. So like if you join like, I don't know, this tier here, you get all of the perks at your tier and all of the ones that are like lower in terms of monetary contribution. If you join at this tier, then you get all of your perks and the perks from the one that's a lower contribution than yours. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't really like to think of them as like higher, lower. Hopefully you kind of get it. But yeah, so the patron tiers are on Patreon, separate thing, whereas the YouTube membership is what I think they call it, is oh, Michelle, alrighty, got myself distracted, sorry, thank you, Michelle. But yeah, the YouTube one is a separate thing, and I would like to develop that further. It's just not like an immediate goal, I guess. Yeah. Alrighty, let's see. Oh, okay, let's see. Oh, there was a choice that there's no bell to ring. Excellent. Feature off for content for kids. I'm for kids? Ew, I'm not for kids. I mean, like, I guess kids can watch if you want, but boo hiss. Let's see. Is there a bell icon? Je ne sais pas. I don't ring my own bell. That sounded weird, and I take it back, but it's already been said. This content is not for children, if you were wondering. Thanks a lot for that, YouTube. I don't even know. Big shrug. My things haven't the struggle bus with trying to load, but if anybody was wondering, not for kids. Alrighty. Is it because you're on an account that is like a kid's account? I don't know. Is your account set up as a like kid's account? I don't really know how YouTube works. I'm faking it. But we have our boxes in. That's looking cute. Now, one of the things that I also like to have, which we had in here. Okay, the bell exists. That's good. One of the things that I had in here was a space to write out like the spreads that I want and the aesthetic. Because this is a smaller notebook, I didn't have a space specifically for a lettering style, so I'll probably put that in here as well. I also like to leave a gap though so that I can list out what the pen colors are, so that then if I ever need to come back to it, I can, you know, look at it. All good. Yeah, poink. So we want a pen. For this one, I can probably just use my Inkjoy because, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So space to write out the pen color, and then a break, and then a thingamabob. Okay, so A-E-S aesthetic. Dot, dot. And a bullet, and then a thing, and a break, and an aesthetic. T-H-E-S. There we go. Nice. YouTube have gotten in trouble for showing kids inappropriate things, so they automatically assume you're a kid until you get yourself verified as an adult. Huh, interesting. That's kind of cool. How does one verify themselves as an adult? I assume, like, I don't know, send them a picture of your receding hairline. Probably not. I'm being a dick. Probably something like driver's license or whatever, because I know that to verify your YouTube account, at least from my end, you need to do something like that, or have your account for a certain amount of time, one of the two. Because we set my dad up a YouTube account, so because my dad has a blog, he does like model wargaming kind of things. So he does he used to do grid-based gaming more so, and then he kind of moved into 1 hour wargaming and stuff like that. The bell and the notification bell are the same thing. At least I reckon that they are. So he still does. Why do you say this? He has a blog which is about wargaming, effectively. And he wanted to start possibly putting some videos up of like gameplay that he did. So it's like you can kind of see how the game progressed. Let's see if I can find it for you. There we go. So there's a little paste action there, but so that's Dad's blog. So that's Dad's blog that he runs to do his wargaming stuff, which is I think it's like pretty cool. Like he makes all of the different pieces himself, like not necessarily in terms of the models. Like some of them he has made himself, but like he makes the kind of like scenery and terrain and stuff, and he makes like backdrops for it and stuff with oil pastels and things. So on his blog he'll talk about not only the campaigns and the actual gaming, but the making of those kind of things as well, which is pretty cool. And so he wanted to do some little time-lapse videos of the actual kind of gameplay from it. So when I was there last, we did a video together. So like I just filmed it on my phone and then we edited it in like iMovie or something like that. And he got to put that up on his blog and people appreciated it and stuff. So he went and bought himself a little tripod for his phone, which is really cute. And it's like, so it can sit on the side of the table, and so he can do that too. And I'm just like, yay! But then, of course, in setting up his YouTube channel, it was his very first, day, effectively, with a YouTube channel. So he couldn't post links in the description box until he verified his account. And one of the ways that you can verify is sending your driver's license. He's like, I ain't gonna do that. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's fair. I wouldn't trust Google either. That's not friendly. I'm sorry, Google. Please don't get angry at me. But yeah. It's great though. It's real swell. I'm glad that he's like able to kind of do that as part of his blog post creation now as well. All right. Where is the halfway point? So we had a question. Boom. Love questions. So how often do you go live? As of current, sporadically. In terms of my intentions, I suppose, moving forward, I would like to get to a place where I effectively have a live stream every... I'm going to write spreads here. I would like to get to a place where I have a live stream once a week. I think that would be really cool. But I think I might ease myself into that and possibly not jump straight into the deep end first thing. You know, I say that, but I'm very much a jump into the deep end kind of person, aren't I? To be honest. Like, when I first started my YouTube channel, I was like, okay, we're going to keep it real chill. Like, we're just going to have one video per week. It's going to go out on a Sunday. The fact that I couldn't think of the word Sunday is, like, sad. All right, obviously drink break time. Tink. So we're going to have one video a week. It's going to go out on a Sunday. We're going to keep it super chill, like super, what's the word? Again, with the word thing. Manageable is what I'm trying to think of. So we're going to keep it manageable. And then literally, like 3 days later, I'm like, this is ridiculous. You can't just do one video a week. You have way too many ideas to share with people. We're going to start a weekly plan with me as well. So I was having a weekly plan with me on a Thursday where I'd set up my week for like the week ahead. And then I'd say a regular video or like, you know, just something else on the Sundays so that I could share other ideas along with the weekly spreads. And then over time that developed and evolved and all that kind of stuff. We got to a point where I stopped doing weekly videos, I guess. Well, not weekly. Stopped doing weekly videos. Come on. That's not right. You know that's not right. We got to a point where I stopped doing weekly plan with me's. Like, I wouldn't do my weekly setup. So there was a point where I was doing all of my weeklies at once as kind of a video where I would set up all of the weekly spreads at one time. And I'd use it as kind of like an ask me anything kind of a thing. So I'd like collect questions throughout the month and just answer questions during those. But then we fell away with that too. And now we just do like 2 videos about, like I say, effectively about whatever, but you know, effectively about whatever. Yes. Oh, yes. I also did a whole month of lives. Yeah. To get you most of very deep end behavior. I'm just like, no, we're not going to half-ass things here. We're just going to jump all the way in. It's kind of like when I first started bullet journaling and I was like, oh, I should really like get myself some supplies kind of a thing. So I didn't just start in like a normal notebook. I was like, nah, everybody's using the LT1917. I must use the LT1917. Everybody's using mild liners. I must use the mild liners. So got myself mild liners, got myself the LT1917. And then people were like, oh yeah, we're like, everybody's really into Tombos. I'm like, I must get the Tombos. But of course, I have no chill. So I bought the entire set of Tombos. And I'm like super glad that I stuck with bullet journaling because that was like a bit of money to drop on a like hobby that you just started. To be completely honest. Let's see. Oh, do you set up 1 or 2 bullet journals per year for things like this? So previously, I have set up 2 per year. I can't, I mean, like I could fit 1 year in, but I don't want to, honestly. So previously, it was very much like a 2 a year kind of thing. So it would be January through to the end of June. Yeah, through to the end of June. There we go. Another one. And then I would have another one for the second half of the year. But for this year, I decided, you know what, I'm not going to hold myself to this like 6-month rotation kind of standard. I'm just going to use my journal as I see fit. I'm going to use as many pages as I want to and, you know, all of that kind of thing. Need to scoot away. Thank you for being here. It was a pleasure to have you here. So I lost my train of thought again. You know that thing in Thomas the Tank Engine where the train like falls off the end of the bridge? Like that's me constantly. Anyways, let's just put the train back on the track and get where we were going. So yeah, previously it was 2 a year, but now it's more kind of in the realm of 3 a year. Because yeah, I just haven't been holding myself to kind of that restricted amount of space. It's just like you use what you want to use and it lasts how long you want to last. I just very much am of the kind of like, not necessarily the opinion that you should start a new journal with the new year, because honestly, that's just not realistic for some people. Like if you start a new journal in November and you only have 2 months in the journal, by the time you get to setting up a new one, like you might really not have used like a lot. Anyways, whatever. I personally like to start a new journal with the new year though, and it just so happens that pretty much most of the time it's me finishing off a journal in December, so it works out quite well. Let's see. We had another question or possibly a comment. What? Ooh, Amazon have a complete set of Tombos on the holder thing for on sale. We love that. We love a good sale. Savings are great. I mean, I don't have any regrets about having purchased all of my Tombos. Like, I know that there are colors in there that I don't really use, but I use the majority of them enough for it to be like a very worthwhile purchase, and they have lasted a really long time because now I just go and replace the colors that I use really, really often, effectively. Like I have some favorites, not gonna lie, got some favorites. But yeah, there are currently 112 Tombow colors? Question mark? That doesn't sound right. 108, I think. 108 Tombow colors, yeah. Because there were 96 and then we got 12 more. That's why I'm thinking 12. Anywho. So could you please do a full reading journal setup? I'm like trying to like doing everything in my power to not set up a reading journal, if I'm completely honest, because I love the aesthetic. Like I love the kind of vintage romance kind of vibes that a lot of them have. But like I love them. I think that they're totally gorgeous. But I also know that I just don't read enough and I would not keep up with it. So I'm kind of avoiding doing a full reading journal setup. I do technically have a reading journal for next year, or at least a notebook that I've picked out as kind of a reading journal, but honestly it's more like a learning journal because it's going to be more for like notes and stuff, if that kind of makes sense. Let's see, we had another question. Have you ever made a video for Black Paper Bujos? I, technically speaking, haven't made like a video for it. Like that's not quite the, what's the word? Is it inflection? It's not quite the inflection that I wanted there, but anywho, I do have a playlist for all of my videos on Blackout paper though, so I'll see if I can find that one for you. It's obviously not very, like, it's not like super, super populated because I haven't used a fully Blackout journal before, but I did use a Neapolitan journal. So any of the setups that I did in that were related to the Blackout pages, I do have in a playlist. So that one I have linked in the chat, so hopefully you can have a look at that. Got another eyelash in my eye. My eyelashes are molting. It's fine. I don't need eyelashes. Who needs okay, eyelashes are kind of important. I prefer to keep them, to be completely honest. All right, scrolling down, trying to see if there are any more questions. We need a question reading song. Oi, you stop it with your chanting, Britta. I'll have none of that. I'll have none of that in my chat, please. Like, you guys know it's gonna happen. Like, I'm still in denial, but you guys know it's gonna happen, so shh. Excuse me, Monica at Bibliophile by Night. How dare ye say that you are not full aesthetics for your reading journal, because your reading journal is aesthetic as heck. Done me a heckin' frighten every time you come over and see your cute ass handwriting, and then I want to punch things. Gurg, arg, kind of a thing. Oh, I totally feel you on this. Like, I got the Caron markers, and they are so beautiful, but I like never use them. But anyways, back to me being annoyed at Monica. Monica's handwriting is so cute, guys. Like, I feel I've talked about this before, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And every time I see it, it makes me angry. I'm so angry. Let's see. How about getting Rachel to set up a reading journal? Guess what? I mean, like, she is setting up a reading journal. It's just, I think getting her to sit in front of a camera and film it like I would do would be a bit a bit mean. She might do a flip through for us though. If we ask her very, very nicely, she might do that for us. Let's see. Do I have any videos spreads for pets? I don't. No, I don't think I do. But if you chuck it, I think we've talked about it already, but there should be a link in the description box. If you guys ever have any video suggestions for me, because I love suggestions, because again, like, I like to think of my journal. I like to think of my channel as kind of like a resource for you guys. I want to help you set up the pages in your journal that you need. So if you have any video ideas like that, then just chuck them at the link in the description. It has like got video suggestions, and then it's got like a little link to a form. So feel free to chuck them down there. Alrighty. Oh no! Yes, you can say happy birthday. Should we sing? I've been like, you probably don't want to hear me sing, but happy birthday to you. I'm probably gonna go off key at some point, so just like ignore that. But happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rachel. I hope that's how you say your name. Happy birthday to you. And then everybody in the comments, we have to go hip hip, and then you can say, I know there's a delay, but you'll say it. Hip hip. And again, you can say it, but there's going to be a delay. And again, hip hip, hooray, huzzah! I hope that even though you had the flu, because that like 100% sucks, I hope that it wasn't too bad of a day. And it's very excited that you're like entering your 40s now. You've got the decade ahead of you, amazing things to come. I hope that it's going to be awesome. Alrighty, let's go see about more questions, because we love questions. Happy birthday to Rachel, in the assumption that you pronounce your name Rachel, and I'm not completely butchering your name, and I apologize. I love this. It's just the handwriting, otherwise it's the same every month. Yeah, but I love the sameness. Matchy matchy is my vibe. You know this. Oh my god. Alrighty. So let's go see. I think we're pretty much good job with your hurraying team. You guys are like totally onto it. Absolutely amazing. When is Gravity Day? Wasn't it the 8th of September? I have vague recollections, but I might be wrong. Anywho. This is looking cute though. Yay for us. Now, one of the things that I actually wanted to get done today, before I distracted myself, was writing out my spreads for January. But first, I'm thirsty. All of that singing, oh my gosh. Oh, you have different classes every week. Good question. Every week. All right, let's see. Possibly, like, is it actually different every single week, or is it like you're on a 2-week rotation kind of a thing? Because suggestion would be different depending. I guess possibly what I would say is if your schedule, what's the word for it? Yeah, if your schedule is still kind of like period based in the way that like each week has the same like set blocks of time where classes can fall into, you could do something similar to my term planner. I will be right back. We need some journals, gotta show some stuff. Creak, creak, creak. Creak, 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 creak. So, one of the pages that I have done previously, which I have super loved, has been this term planner, which is effectively based on the idea of having set periods of time each day. So if you have like, you know, a set 6-period day or 7-period day or something like that, you could use something like this where you color code the blocks of time to say what class is happening. This technically could also work for just like a time-based one. Like by time-based, I mean like, I don't know, from 12 to 2 this week you have this thing versus next week from 2 to 7, calm down. Yeah, 2 to 4 you have this thing, or like whatever. So you could technically set something up like that. This is obviously very condensed because I wanted to see things at a super glance kind of a thing. So if you have structured periods of time, this could impossibly work. Impossibly. Get out of here. Anywho, that's one possible idea. Another idea that you could do, and again, it really depends on what size of journal you're using, I guess. Like this one is notably bigger. But something that I did for this one was I set up a separate kind of little block calendar for each week. So you could use something kind of like this. And you don't necessarily have to have it in blocks of time either. You could have it more as a schedule-based thing. So this could be like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., like down the side here, and then you could kind of put blocks of time in like that. Notably, mine is based on the idea of we have 6 set periods in a day. They are at the same time each week, but that is a possibility. This one obviously gave me a little bit more space, so I could write a little bit more stuff. So hopefully that could possibly help. Yay! Helping or attempting, yeah. Attempted help. Oh, word of the year stuff. I love word of the year stuff. I haven't set my word of the year yet. I think it needs a little bit more thought because I had an initial word that I was considering, but I'm not 100% sold on it yet. Like my word for this year was jump, and it took me a really long time to figure out that that's what the word that I was going to go with because it didn't feel like special enough. Quote, 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 quote. But it ended up being a really good word. I feel like that's the thing. Like your word of the year doesn't need to be some profound, strange, out of the box kind of word. It can just be a really simple, basic ass word and still be perfectly fine, if that makes sense. I don't know. Just a thought. I still need to think about mine though. But that's a later me problem too. Now, one of the things that I said I wanted to do was populate this list. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to do that. No, I've started reading. Ah, yay! I'm glad you like it. Words of appreciation are like my love language. Okay, love languages in particular are something I want to learn about, but I'm very excited that you are inspired to work on your journal because that is the aim of the game here. I like the idea of giving ideas and all of the good stuff. Verbs better. Yeah, that's fair. I maybe that's the thing, because jump, I mean, technically could be a noun, but it's technically also a verb, to jump. So that kind of worked. So spreads for January. I have really been enjoying my projects list. So I think I want to keep that, but I also think I want to possibly brainstorm ideas before I put them down on paper. So we're just gonna grab, I'm going to put them on paper to brainstorm them, but still. Thank you for being here while you could, Bronwyn. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. Harvest. Nice. That's a cool word too. Progress. Progress was a word that I had in my one for a while ago. I've done a couple words of the year. I used to do, instead of a word of the year, I do a word of the month. I think what would probably have been better would have been a word of the quarter. I think that changing your word every month doesn't really get you to have that kind of cohesive, overarching kind of thing. But I don't know. It's a thing. So I have been enjoying my projects list. Alrighty, as a side note, I love it when people say oh wow, your handwriting is so pretty, and I'm just it's really not though. When it's in my journal, if you actually look at it up close, it's very much the cheerleader effect. Having all of the letters sit there together being a similar size just makes it look good. But then when I actually just write out in my regular handwriting, I'm yeah, nah, I'm a goober. So projects list, I've been enjoying cover pages still, so we can have a cover page. I'm thinking that I'm going to want a monthly log. I've also been thinking about setting up a self-care tracker, just because I feel like I'm not necessarily doing the best job at it, so that would be something that I would like to do. Let's see. Oop. Oh, you have a meeting at 10. Yeah, that makes sense. It is Monday for us. Sorry, Monica. We'll see you later. Let's see. Yay! Adapted your term planners. I love that. Yeah, that's something that I kind of honestly miss is the teacher related bullet journal layouts, because I think it just it gave me some parameters to work with in terms of trying to set new spreads up, and I'm glad that you have enjoyed it and have adapted it to your own needs. I think that's also a thing. I love it when people tag me in their pictures that aren't sure, I love a good recreation too, but when somebody has taken an idea they saw in one of my videos and then tweaked it and changed it so that it actually works for them, I'm yes, that's the aim of the game. Please make it work for you. Yeah, big believer in making your journal work for you. Alrighty, we need the actions list because actions list makes me happy on the inside. I would also like a reflection page for the monthly, because weekly reflections are something that I very much enjoyed doing in October and September. So I kind of think I want to bring that back, but I'm not too sure. What someone who has several jobs so they can sort them, schedule themselves. I'm so confused. Interesting. That would be kind of tricky. Is it okay? We're gonna pop this up because it's a thing. So send a suggestion, but what about someone who has several jobs that they sort of schedule themselves? I'm so confused. Interesting. I guess it's my assumption that you don't have the jobs happening at the same time as each other. I guess that's, kind of an assumption. And if you're scheduling them yourself, is it the kind of thing where you like to have like longer periods of time on one and then the other? Or is it kind of like they're kind of interdispersed throughout the day kind of a thing? So is it more like, a block and then a block, or is it more like a little bits throughout the day kind of thing? Because I think that timelines could help for that, but honestly, like, I would probably tend towards using a digital calendar for that, just because if it's the kind of thing that you're scheduling yourself and you need to be flexible, sometimes putting pen on paper is a little bit tricky for that. But I guess it really just depends on what works with your brain hole, all about finding things that work for your brain hole. But yeah, I probably would go with some kind of like a timeline thing for each day, even if it was just like a box, like a longer, where's a something I can write on? Yes, a something I can write on. I know I have a mess journal somewhere. Crack. All right. Come here, mess journal. So, this is, I know it's not necessarily a mess journal. But it is, because we've just been like making little fake layouts in here and stuff like this. But it could be the kind of thing where you set yourself up like either, I probably, in my mind, a timeline for the day goes vertically, but that would start taking up a lot of space. But if you do like from 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to 7 kind of a thing. And you'd probably set it up nicer than this, possibly. And you don't necessarily need to draw a box around it either, but you could just be like, okay, well, this block of time we color in one color because it is associated with something. So that could be like, morning routine. And then we have like the block before lunch, and then we have the lunch break. And then we have like the, finish work for the day. So like that's the evening. So it's like in here we have 4 hours of time, and then over here we have 4 hours of time. So it's like you could say like, oh, for the first hour I'm going to do this, and then for the next 2 hours I'm going to do this thing, and then for the hour before lunch I'm going to do that, and then etc. 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 So this is kind of how I do mine. I do it in a digital calendar though, so I will set this kind of timeline up for myself on the days I remember to do it. And when I do it, I find it very helpful. So I'll be like, okay, so this is the like scripting videos time, and this is the filming time, and this is the time where I like sort out Instagram pictures or like whatever, whatever I'm doing for the day. And then maybe this is editing video 1, and then this is editing video 2 or something. But because I am not necessarily the best at predicting how much time things actually take me, I like to do it on a digital calendar because then I can move things around effectively. Like if I find that like I get to the morning and scripting actually only takes me half an hour, I don't want to just sit there for a half hour being like, well, gotta just wait for my filming time. Kind of a thing. So then I can just make that box smaller on the digital calendar and work around it that way, kind of a thing. So that's possibly a thing. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully that helps. I know that that's kind of like, slightly related or something. Yeah, fill section with color, do the outside. Yeah, so the inside could use for colors if there was more things at that time. Oh, nice. That's awesome. That's a good idea. I hope this was helpful. I mean, obviously it is just one idea, but I find that the nice part about using this kind of thing is that you can also color code as well. So it's like if I have things that are like related to YouTube videos or like different areas of life in general, then they get different colors. For me, my work stuff is always blue. So like for me, the scripting, filming, IG photos, editing, and editing would all be in blue. And then everything that's like a personal problem is in pink, kind of a thing. So that's how I like to do it. But possibly could work for you, mayhaps. Because you could just color code it based on the different jobs that you were working on. Action list, reflection, habit tracking, question mark. Like, part of me wants to go back to doing my habit tracking monthly, because that's something that has worked for me previously. But I also think that having it, what's the word? Having it on my weekly spreads has actually been really helpful, because it was like front and center, so I'd actually get it done. But setting it up every week was kind of like, ugh. So I'm gonna give it a go. Habit tracker. A monthly habit tracker, because then that can go next to my self-care tracker. So this guy and this guy can be like together. And then my actions list and my reflection possibly I can put together. So triangle and triangle. And then the monthly log spans 2, so it's whatever. And then the cover page and the projects list typically go together, because I've kind of just gotten away from using quotes in my journal for my monthly setups. I just like, it's not so much that I couldn't be bothered, but like it's kind of like I couldn't be bothered. Yeah. Have a tracker printable for weeklies. That'd be cool. Yeah. The self-care tracker is going to be cool. I mean, I might be a little biased here, but I think it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to it at least, because yeah, I just I feel like I need to prioritize some things related to my self-care, and I think that having its own separate tracker would kind of show that it is a priority, if that kind of makes sense. Yeah. Block and then block, mostly pencil. Private practice. Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty, let's see. I think that this is... thank you for being here while you could, Amelia. I hope that, welcome back to the replay and all of the good stuff too. So, have a track for the monthly, projects list, cover page, monthly log. Do I need anything else? Need is a strong word. Okay, so if you were wondering, I actually have a resource for things that you can put into a monthly setup. I don't have it linked anywhere as of current. I mean, it is linked somewhere, it's just not linked anywhere in the space of this video, kind of a thing. But maybe I'll pull it up and have a look at it. I don't know if I can show you guys. Let's see. We'll pull it up first, and then we'll see if we can do that for you. Other printables. Let's see what to include in a monthly setup. And we're just gonna make it. How do we make it so that it's just sized to a full page? Let's see. Okay. I know that there's a button for this, but I don't know where it is. Share screen. Screen one. Share. Can you guys see that? Yeah, possibly. So, yes, okay, thank you. Go away. So this is a printable that I set up like a hot minute ago, like a while ago. And it's effectively just like stuff that you can put into a monthly setup. So I can kind of look through this and then add these to my list if I want to, effectively. So calendars and schedules, monthly log, yes. I don't need a themed schedule for this one because I already have my, actually, maybe I do need one, because possibly it might be good having an Insta schedule, because I didn't put that in my start of journal setup, but I do have an overall kind of thing for it there. Yeah, that was poorly worded. Anyways, I have a content planner in my start of journal setup, effectively, but I do not have enough space on this to also list out my Instagram pictures that I want to post, so there's absolutely no point in even trying to put them on there. It would be ridiculous. So habit tracker, yep, already got that. Themed habit tracker, technically already have that. Mood tracker, I don't think I need one. Productivity tracker, I don't need to add that in for this month as well. I think that would be a little bit too much. Chores and cleaning log, I don't need. Meal log or meal planner, actually that would possibly be good, but I think I want to put that on my weekly stuff. So we're gonna pull out another tiny piece of paper. So this can be like my weekly dashboard kind of idea. So weekly dashboard. And how do you get the month title to always land on the right-hand page? Typically I just use up pages, effectively is the answer to the question. So I'm going to drop this question up here. So how do you get the month title page to always land on the right-hand page? I will often just fill up extra pages, but I also typically plan it out so that then I have an even amount of pages for every month. I mean, technically speaking, I could put my month title page on the left-hand page, but I usually like to put like a projects list there or a quote page or like something like that is typically what I would do with regards to that. But yeah, it's very much just like in my planning, I plan in such a way that it means that I have an even number of pages filled for each month, so it always falls on the right-hand page. Hopefully that kind of helps and all makes sense. So on the weekly dashboard, I do want to have a meal log of some description, just so that I actually make sure that I'm eating. Because that'd be good, because I'm just like, I'm not very good at remembering to like have lunch. Like I just get very stuck into what I'm doing a lot of the time, and then I'm just like, oh, it's 4 o'clock. I probably should have eaten something, but oh well, it's fine. Let's see. Health log tracker, don't need that. Family trackers, no. Spending tracker log, don't need that. Screen time, nah. Gratitude, not feeling it. Not feeling enough. It's not that I'm not feeling grateful. It's just I don't think I need to chuck it in as well. Self-love log, self-care bingo, don't need because I've got my self-care tracker. Time tracker, sleep tracker, 1 line a day. I don't think I want any of those. Goal related, so monthly goal list or bucket list. I've got the action plan in here because I want to have that. Squeeze me. Let's see. Monthly task list, theme checklists, brain dump. I don't mind having a brain dump page, but I think I kind of want to put that more on my weeklies. I'm thinking what I possibly want to do is have like a weekly dashboard followed by daily logs, because I've just really enjoyed having daily logs previously, just getting everything out of my head, which has been really nice. Yay, we have another member. Hello, Claire. Welcome to the team with a capital T. It is going to be a pleasure having you with us. Very excited for you to have your name in green and your little icon and all of the cute stuff. Huzzah. Yay. The team is growing. Alrighty, so we've got our mail log, we already said, yep, and then weekly or daily logs, Godoy. So I'm thinking it's going to be like a 1 page of like dashboard, and then just like dailies is the general kind of idea that I have for that, which is exciting. Yeah, planning it on normal paper so you can see where things go nicely. Yeah, fair, completely understand. Wonder if a habit tracker as a tip-in totally would work out well. And then if you take it from week to week and leave it in the monthly once it's done. That'd be an awesome idea. I also like the idea of ones where, like, we just pop over here, like the ones where it kind of like flips out to the side so you can kind of like see it on each of your weeklies. So it's already kind of like, I don't know, stuck here, flips out, and then you can see it wherever you are. Like, I like flip outs. Flip outs make me happy on the inside. I don't remember which button I pressed to get to where I was before. Is it this one? No, that's too small. Is it this one? Yes, it's this one. Yeah, tipping can be difficult to write on, so it really depends on what's on the tip on. Really depends on what's on the tip in. All right, just for fun, don't need doodles or decoration, don't need ideas page, journal page, note page, nah. Monthly challenges, I don't think I'm doing monthly challenges next year. I don't think so. I don't need that kind of challenge in my life. I really just want to work on my goals, my action plans, that kind of thing. So have a little bit of focus on that. Don't want a playlist, don't need affirmations, don't need any of that kind of stuff. No. Currently level 10 life check-in monthly reflection. Cool. Alrighty. So that looks pretty good. I think that's going to be plenty fine for my list of stuff that I want. I think that's going to be helpful. So in terms of making sure that I have, like, quote, enough pages, the projects list and the cover page are together, so I can put those down. Because I kind of, when I write it on this list, I kind of like it to be roughly in order of how I want to put it in the journal. Roughly. So, projects list, which I have been finding just like a helpful summary kind of a thing. We have the cover page. All right, just in case you're new, or, you know, if you're just like, Jess, what the heck are you talking about? So in terms of the projects list, what I used to do at the start of my monthly setup is I would have a cover page here, so September or like whatever month it is, that kind of thing, and then this page here would be a quote page. But I was finding quotes and then lettering the quotes, and then I'm like, nah, I'm not about that life. So instead what I've started doing is a projects list. It's effectively like my top tasks typically for work for the month. So in this case, it was like, these are ones for Patreon, these were ones for my vlog, and then this one was, I don't know, supposed to be for other stuff. I didn't end up using that other section, but that was fine. For October, I actually gave them headers, which was kind of helpful. So we had the vlog section, the Patreon section, and then like my main channel kind of section. Didn't necessarily tick it off, but I wrote it out. I've just found this to be much more useful, I suppose, than trying to put just like a quote page there and then have this somewhere else. Like, it also just gives me an opportunity, I suppose, to come back and like enjoy my cover page. I guess you could say, like, oh, I can come back and actually see, like, oh, look at how pretty my cover page is. Look at that shiny gold paint and stuff. So that's been kind of nice. We're going to continue with those. We like those a lot. We being me, myself, and I. Alrighty, so cover page, we've got the monthly log, which is going to be a full spread, so 2 pages. Monthly log. And then after this, I'm thinking do I want to do my actions list and monthly reflection first, or do I want to do my self-care tracker and habit tracker first? Because Insta schedule, I don't think I want to do first, because like Instagram is not as much of a priority as my other goals are. So I don't want to have it like up front in the month, if that kind of makes sense. I like to have things ordered in either a way of priority, effectively. So like the most important stuff comes first, or I like to have it ordered in a way of like width of use, if that kind of makes sense. So like the projects list and the cover page being first is very much like, they are kind of like it's like an introduction, effectively. It's an introduction to the month, so that having them first makes sense. The monthly log is the widest use because it's where I can write down like events, notes, appointments, like all of that. So it is kind of an all-encompassing page. Then after that, it's very much like that balancing of like priority versus width. Instagram schedule does not have a very big width, and it isn't very important, in my opinion, honestly. Like posting to Instagram is just something that I enjoy doing. It's not enjoyable to the point of like, I must do this for like personal fulfillment. Hopefully that makes sense. So I think that I'm honestly wondering if I don't want to put the reflection later and possibly have the actions list paired with something else, but I don't know what I would pair it with. I don't necessarily want to pair it with the Instagram schedule, and I think that the Instagram schedule is honestly going to have to be like a full page. Okay, the Instagram schedule is going to be a full page. I'm going to set it up like a calendar. And I'm just going to make a choice. I'm going to say that the actions list and reflection is going to go first because the actions list is, in my opinion, the most important part. Important part. Actions list. And I like to pair the actions list with the reflection because the reflection is very much about that page. So it's like when I come to fill in my reflection, I can have it right there next to what my goals were or like what my plans were. So I think that kind of makes sense. That kind of stuff. Right hand pages, previous month in review, double page spread, which is the header of the month and 1 line a day. Oh yeah, it's quite interesting. Previously, I used to not have a quote page. I would have my planning page for the month. So this stuff here that we're populating would actually be a full page for one thing. And so I'd have like swatches and I'd have place to like do my lettering practice and that kind of stuff. And then on this page here would be the start of the new month. So it'd be like, oh, look, planning for January. Here's the first page of January. Planning for February. Here's the first page of February. That kind of thing. Reflection, and then we're gonna do habits and then self-care. Yeah, sure, because habits are wider. Habit tracker. Oh, I need a book club page. Why did nobody remind me? Because nobody knew. That is why nobody reminded me. I like to have the book club tracker. It just kind of like is another thing to help keep me motivated, and it also kind of helps me I guess like remember almost like what we were reading, I suppose. Self-care tracker, self-care tracker. Tracker for self-care tracker. Feel like these are quite a few pages, but it's gonna be awesome. Self-care tracker. Also, tink. Thank you for being here while you could be. Hope you got lots done with us, even if getting lots done was just fun. That's also cool too. So the self-care tracker is done. Then I think I'm going to want, because in my mind, the Instagram schedule is still less important than the book club tracker, but the book club tracker does not need to have a full page spread. And that's kind of where I'm like, because on Instagram, I like to post multiple times a day. So I really need a lot of space. I'm like, can I fit 3 columns? I can fit 3 columns. I could make it work. Okay, fine. We're going to do the Instagram schedule just as a list kind of view. It'll be fine. Book club tracker and Instagram schedule can go together. I think I'm going to want the book club tracker second. Only because the Instagram schedule requires me to actually write things, and it's going to be a lot easier to write them here than it is like here. So Insta schedule. Nice. And then we also have the book club tracker. And I think that is plenty enough pages for 1 month. That's gonna be enough. Oh, yeah. Singing throughout life. Yeah, just having a little jig bounce to myself. All good. Oh, yeah. He's not to bother me. It cultivates me enjoying and being me. What's just nice. I love that. Book club. I'm going halfway through Mexican Gothic. Nice. I actually quite like Mexican Gothic. I thought it was an interesting concept. Like, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but I thought it was cool. I'm excited about the book club tracker, honestly. Yeah, that was a pickable time. You missed it. Aw, sorry. That's a lame banana. But let's see. Like, don't have much projects or planning stuff, so it's a mix of tracking important stuff, memory keeping, and one-sided double spread. Nah, that's cool. That's fair. I like that. So this is looking good. And the nice part is that, we can actually check off a task for the day, like the wizards we are. Où est le pen? I think I put it in my pocket like a psycho. Thank you. Listing January pages. Done. Crushed it. Alrighty. Thumbnail, brainstorm, content planner. All goods. Well, team. I think that is honestly where we're going to leave it for today. It has been such a pleasure hanging out with you. I would love to do more live streams with you guys because I just find them a lot of fun. So if that is something that you would like to see, do make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Comment, blah, 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 all the things. Mainly the thumbs up, because then I know that, you liked it. Have a fabulous rest of your day or evening or anything like that, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye for now.